Welcome to first PUC objective classes. Now we discuss about the synopsis in waves chapter. It is the first class. A progressive wave is traveling along the x-axis. The equation of the progressive wave is y equal to a sin omega t plus or minus kx. In this equation, where a represents amplitude of the wave, omega represents angular frequency of the wave, then omega equal to pi mu, it is equal to pi by t. And k is the propagation constant, its value k equal to pi by lambda. If the progressive wave is traveling along the positive x-axis, then its equation is y equal to a sin omega t minus kx. If the progressive wave traveling along negative x-axis, then y equal to a sin omega t plus kx. In this progressive wave, the ratio of omega by k gives velocity of the wave. Then velocity of the wave v equal to omega by k 2 pi mu by 2 pi by lambda. Here 2 pi gets cancelled, then velocity of the wave v equal to mu lambda. If the progressive wave is traveling from one medium to another medium, in that case the frequency of the wave remains constant, then wavelength and velocity both are changed. They are left as v is directly proportional to lambda, then we write v1 by v2 equal to lambda 1 by lambda 2. Now we take the different forms of progressive wave equation. The basic equation of progressive wave is y equal to a sin omega t plus or minus kx. In this equation, we substitute omega equal to 2 pi mu and k equal to 2 pi by lambda. Then y equal to a sin 2 pi mu t plus or minus 2 pi by lambda into x. Then y equal to a sin 2 pi into mu t plus or minus x by lambda. Here in this function, you take lambda is common, then y equal to a sin 2 pi by lambda into mu lambda into t plus or minus x. In this equation, 2 pi by lambda is equal to propagation constant k and mu lambda is equal to velocity of the wave. Then y equal to a sin k into vt plus or minus x is the one more form of progressive wave. In basic equation of progressive wave, we substitute omega equal to pi by t and k equal to 2 pi by lambda. Then y equal to a sin 2 pi by capital T into small t plus or minus 2 pi by lambda into x. Then y equal to a sin 2 pi into small t by capital T plus or minus x by lambda. It is one more form of progressive wave equation. In a progressive wave propagation, the particles of the medium or the particles of the wave executing the simple harmonic motion. Hence, the particle velocity of the wave is Vp equal to dy by dt. Then Vp equal to d by dt of a sin omega t plus or minus kx. Vt equal to a omega into cos omega t plus or minus kx is the equation of particle velocity of the wave. the particles are executing simple harmonic motion, then the particle velocity Vp equal to omega into root over a square minus y square, where a is the amplitude, y is the displacement of the vibrating particle. At mean position, the displacement y equal 0, then Vp equal to a omega means at mean position the particle velocity Vp is maximum. At extreme position, the displacement of the particle is equal to amplitude, then Vp particle velocity is 0, means at extreme position the particle velocity is minimum. Next, the acceleration of the vibrating particle A equal to dVp by dt. Then d by dt of a omega cos of omega t plus or minus kx. Now a equal to a omega into d by dt of cos of omega t plus or minus kx. Then a equal minus omega square a into sin omega t plus or minus kx. Then a equal to minus omega square y, where y is displacement of a progressive wave, a sin omega t plus or minus kx. Then a plus omega square y equal to 0, but a equal to dVp by dt and d by dt of dy by dt. Then a equal to d square y by dt square, then d square y by dt square plus omega square y equal to 0. It represents the differential form of the progressive wave equation. Now we discuss about the energy of a progressive wave. Energy of a progressive wave. In a progressive wave propagation, the particles of the medium or the particles of the wave executing the simple harmonic motion. Hence, the energy of the simple harmonic motion is taken as the energy of the wave. Then, the energy of a progressive wave is equal to half m omega square a square, where omega is the angular frequency of the wave and a is the amplitude of the wave. Now we discuss about the intensity. Intensity of wave. So intensity is defined as the rate of transfer of energy perpendicular to the direction of propagation per unit area is called intensity of a wave. Intensity of a wave is defined as rate of transfer of energy per unit area perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave is called intensity of a wave time. So I equal to energy by area into time. Then energy as unit is joule, area is meter square, time is second, per joule per second is called watt. Then SI unit of intensity of a wave is watt per meter square. Now intensity I equal to half m omega square a square by a into t. Then m omega square a square by 2 into a into t. But omega equal to 2 pi mu. Omega equal to 2 pi mu. Then intensity of a wave I equal to m into 4 pi square mu square a square by 2 into a into t. 2 times gets cancelled. 2m pi square mu square a square by area into t. But where m is the mass of the particle, m equal to density into volume, the propagating medium appears in we substitute rho into A into L, then intensity of the wave I equal to 2 into rho A L into pi square mu square A square by A into T. Here A is cancelled, then I equal to 2 pi square rho mu square A square into L by T. L represents the distance traveled by the wave by time, represents the velocity of the wave. M by T is equal to the velocity of a wave. Velocity of a wave V, then I equal to 2 pi square rho mu square A square into V is the equation of intensity of a wave. Here we write I is directly proportional to rho, I is directly proportional to square of the frequency, square of the amplitude is called intensity, and intensity of the wave is directly proportional to its velocity. Next, we discuss about the energy density of a wave. Energy density equal to energy by volume. Energy by volume. So energy density equal to energy volume is equal to intensity into area into time by volume. Then energy density I into A into T by volume means area into length. Area gets cancelled, then I by L by D. L by D nothing but the distance travelled by the wave to the time is called velocity. Then energy density equal to intensity by volume, intensity by velocity of the wave. Energy density is equal to the intensity by velocity of the wave. The intensity of the wave I equal to energy by area into time. Energy by time is called power. Power by area. Then intensity of a wave I equal to P by A. In case of point or spherical source of a wave, where area A equal to 4 pi r square. So let me consider a point source or a spherical source. In that case, area of cross section A equal to 4 pi r square, then intensity I equal to P by 4 pi r square. Then we write, in case of point source or spherical source, the intensity of a wave is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from that source. Means intensity obeys the inverse square law. But we know that intensity is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude. Then A square is directly proportional to 1 by r square. Then A is directly proportional to 1 by r. In case of cylindrical source, intensity is inversely proportional to the distance. Then amplitude is inversely proportional to the square root of the distance in case of cylindrical source. Now we discussing about the formation of standing waves or stationary waves. Now we discuss about the formation of standing waves and standing waves or stationary waves. The formation of standing waves or stationary waves is an example of superposition of waves. If two progressive waves are having the same amplitude and frequency are moving in opposite direction, they will be superposed with each other at certain position, at certain points. The amplitude of the resultant wave is minima. At certain point, the amplitude of the resultant wave is maxima. The point at which the amplitude of the resultant wave is minima, the point is called node. The point at which the amplitude of the resultant wave is maxima, the point is called antinode. Suppose it is a one progressive wave is traveling like this, and it is another progressive wave is traveling like this. In this case, both waves are superposed with each other. In that case, at certain points, the amplitude becomes minima. At a certain point, the amplitude becomes maxima. The points at which amplitude becomes maxima, the points are called antinodes. The point at which the amplitude becomes minima, the points are called nodes. So in stationary wave pattern, alternating nodes and antinodes are formed. In stationary wave pattern, the distance between any two successive nodes is equal to lambda by 2, or the distance between any two successive antinodes is equal to lambda by 2, and the distance between successive node and antinode becomes lambda by 4. So we discussed the formation of stationary waves or standing waves at rigid boundary and free boundary. Stationary waves are formed across the rigid boundary. It is a rigid boundary. The incident wave across the rigid boundary is yi equal to a sin omega t minus x, because the wave is traveling along the positive x-axis. The reflected wave across the rigid boundary as shown here, the reflected wave equation y equal to a sin omega t plus kx plus pi radians, because a progressive wave undergoes reflection across the rigid boundary, it suffers a convection phase difference by pi radians. These two waves are superposed with each other. The resultant displacement y equal to yi plus yr. Y is the incident wave, yr is the reflected wave. The resultant displacement is the sum of incident wave plus reflected wave. Then y equal to a sin omega t minus kx minus a sin omega t plus kx we got. By applying trigonometric rules, we got the resultant displacement y equal to a sin kx cos omega t. It is the resultant displacement of the two waves are superposed across the rigid boundary. In this equation, 2a sin kx. 2a sin kx is the resultant amplitude of the resultant wave. We are taking a equal to a sin kx. Then y equal to a cos omega t is the equation of resultant wave or standing wave superposed across the rigid boundary. In this equation, nodes are formed. Nodes are formed or antinodes are formed. In a stationary wave, it depends upon the sin kx. Depends upon sin kx. Then a equal to 2a sin kx It notes the amplitude A equal to 0 when sin kx equal to 0. It antinodes amplitude becomes maxima capital A equal to A when sin function sin of x equal to plus or minus 1. Now we discuss about the formation of standing waves across the free end. A progressive wave is traveling around post x-axis. It is taken as a incident wave y equal to a sin omega t minus kx is incident across a free boundary. Or free end. The reflected wave equation y of r equal to a sin omega t plus kx. Here the reflected wave undergoes a phase change delta phi equal to 0 degrees. In that case, the displacement of resultant wave y equal to y of I plus y of r. Then a sin omega t minus kx plus a sin omega t plus kx. So by using trigonometric rules, we solve this equation. We got y equal to a cos kx sin omega t. In this equation, 2a cos kx is the amplitude of the resultant wave. So the amplitude is minima at the nodes, the amplitude is maximum at the antinodes. Then the equation of the standing wave or stationary wave across the free boundary or free end reflection is y equal to a sin omega t. Here also the formation of nodes and antinodes depends upon the cos kx. At nodes, the amplitude is minima. A is 0 when cos kx value is equal to 0. At antinodes, the amplitude is maxima. A equal to 2a. It depends upon when cos kx value equal to plus or minus 1. Now we are discussing about the velocity of a transfer waves. Consider a string of length L and a linear density mu is stretched with a load m. Then the velocity of the transverse wave in the string is v equal root over t by mu, where t is tension in a string, mu is linear density. It is defined as mass per unit length, mass by length. Then v equal to root over t by mass by length. It is an equation of transverse wave in a stretched string. If a mass m is attached to a string, then tension P equal to mg, then V equal to root over mg by mu. is the equation of velocity of transverse wave in a string. Leading density mu equal to mass by length. Mass nothing but the density into volume by length. Rho into volume means area into length by L. L gets cancelled. Then linear density is the product of density into area cross section A. Then rho into pi r square. Then velocity of the transverse wave is string V equal to root over T by pi r square rho. From this equation we write velocity of a transverse wave is directly proportional to tension in a string, and velocity is inversely proportional to the square root of the square of the radius of the wire. Then we write V is inversely proportional to R, and V is inversely proportional to square root of the density of the string. A string of linear density mu is considered to the string a body of mass and density rho is attached to the string. Then the velocity of the transverse wave in the string V equal to root over T by mu. Then V equal to root over mg by mu. If this mass is placed in a liquid of density rho L, then tension in the string is T equal to W minus W prime. W is the weight of the object in air medium, W prime is the weight of the object in a liquid medium. Then W equal to mg equal to rho into volume into Z. Then in liquid medium W prime equal to rho L into V into Z. Then tension T equal to rho Vg minus rho L into Vg. Then T equal to Vg into rho minus rho L. Then rho Vg into 1 minus rho L by rho. Rho Vg nothing but the weight of the body in air medium. Then T equal to W into 1 minus rho L by rho. Then velocity of the transverse wave in the string when it is suspended in a liquid of density rho L is V equal to root over T by mu. It is equal to W into or mg into 1 minus rho L by rho by mu is the equation of transverse wave in a string is attached to a load of mass m is suspended in a liquid of density rho L. Next we are discussing about a thermal strain create the tension in the wire. Thermal stress equal to force by area. Force nothing but tension by area. Then T equal to stress into area. But stress equal to Young's modulus into strain. Then stress equal to Young's modulus y into strain will change in length by versus length E by L. Then tension T equal to y into E by L into A, YA E by L. Then velocity of the transverse wave in a string when the tension is created by thermal strain is V equal root over T by mu. It is equal to YAE by L by mu. Then it is equal to YAE by mu L. But mu is the linear density, mass by length, then velocity in the string V equal to root over YA E by M by L into L. L gets cancelled. Then velocity of the transverse wave in a string when tension is created by thermal strain V equal to root over YA E by M. Velocity of the transverse wave in a string when the tension is created by thermal strain is V equal to root over YA E by M. From the thermal expansion of solids, we know the definition of coefficient of linear expansion. From the definition of coefficient of linear expansion, alpha equal to L2 minus L1 by L1 into T2 minus T1. T2 minus T1 is the change in temperature. So L2 minus L1 is the change in length, nothing but the elongation E by L into delta T. Then delta L equal to E equal to L alpha delta T. In that case, velocity of the transverse wave in a string V equal to root over YA E by M. Then YA into L alpha delta T by mass. Then velocity of the transverse wave in a string V equal to root over YAL delta T by mass. From this equation, we write velocity of a transverse wave in a stretched string is directly proportional to the change in temperature delta T. Consider a string of length L is suspended in a vertical plane as shown in diagram. Consider a string of length L and mass M is suspended in a vertical plane as shown in diagram. The tension is acting in upward direction towards the point of suspension. In this case, it will be taken as a bottom point and it is taken as a top point. Here the tension is created in the wave by its own mass M. Then at bottom point, the velocity of the wave is transverse wave is V equals 0 because tension T equals 0 at the bottom point T equal to 0. At the top point the tension in the string is T equal to mg. Then at the top point velocity of the transverse wave in a string V equal to T by mu. Then V equal to root over T means mg by mass, means linear density, mass by length. Mass gets cancelled. Then velocity at the top point of a vertically suspended string is V equal to root GL. In this string, at the bottom, from the bottom point at a distance x, the velocity is V equal to root Gx. In a string from the bottom point at a distance x, the velocity of the transverse wave is V equal to root Gx. But we know that V equal to dx by dt. Then dx by dt equal to root Gx. then dx by root x is equal to the root g into dt. To find the time taken by the transverse wave to reach from bottom to top is t seconds. Then we are integrating these equations on both sides. Then integral dx by root x is equal to integral root g into dt. Here the wave reaches from bottom to top, means it covered by the length of the string L. Then lower limit becomes 0 and upper limit is L and time 0 to t seconds. Then we got root L equal to 2 into root L equal to root g into t. Then t equal to 2 into root over L by g is the time taken by the transverse wave to reach from bottom to top. Now we are discussing about the frequency of the vibrating string. Consider a string of length L is fixed between the two rigid supports as shown in diagram. It will be vibrating with a single loop. Then its frequency is taken as n. Then here node is formed, here node is formed, here anti-node is formed. The distance between two successive nodes is equal to L equal to lambda by 2. Then lambda equal to L. Velocity of the wave V equal to mu lambda. Then mu into 2L. Mu equal to 1 by 2L into V, where V is the velocity of the wave in the string. It is V equal to root over t by mu. Then mu equal to 1 by 2L into root over t by mu is the frequency of the vibrating string with a single loop. If the string vibrates with two loops, then frequency is taken as mu2, it is mu1, 2 by 2L into root over t by mu. If the string vibrates with three loops, so the string vibrates with 3 loops, 3 by 2L into root over t by mu. Suppose if the string vibrates with p loops, then mu equal to p by 2L into root over t by mu. From this equation, we are taking loss of transverse waves in a structured string. Mu is inversely proportional to length of the string, and mu is directly proportional to tension in the string. Mu is inversely proportional to square root of the linear density. These three are called loss of transverse waves in a structured string. Now we discuss about the velocity of the longitudinal waves or velocity of the sound waves. The velocity of the longitudinal waves in a given medium is taken as v equal to root over e by rho, where e is the modulus of velocity. Modulus of velocity and rho is the density of a medium. The velocity of longitudinal waves in a solids we are taking as v equal root over y by rho, where y is Young's modulus. Young's modulus of given solid medium. In case of liquids, the velocity of longitudinal waves is V equal root over B by rho, where B is bulk modulus of liquids, because liquids possess bulk modulus only because they are not having specific shape. In gases, the velocity of sound was first given by Newton. He treated the given gas medium is isothermal medium, means temperature remains constant. In that medium, the velocity of the sound V equal root over P by rho, where P is the pressure of the gas medium. And rho is the density of the given gas medium. According to this equation, we are calculating the velocity of sound. It gives the very large difference from the practical value of the velocity of sound, 32 meters per second. So this Newton equation is corrected by Laplace, and it is called Newton's Laplace equation. Laplace corrected the given gas medium is not isothermal medium, it is adiabatic medium. Hence, the Laplace equation of velocity of sound in a given gas medium is V equal root over gamma P by rho, where gamma is the ratio specific to its value is Cp by C. Its equation is Cp by C. This equation gives the correct coincidence of velocity of sound in the gas medium 32 meters per second. In gases, obeys the ideal gas equation. Then from ideal gas equation, PV equal to nRT, where n is number of moles equal to small m by capital M, molecular mass by mass number, given mass by molecular mass. Then P into V equals small m by capital M into RT. It is taken as P into V by M equal to RT by M, RT by capital M. Volume by given mass of the gas gives the volume by mass of the gas is equal to 1 by rho. Then P by rho equal to RT by M. Then Newton's Laplace equation of velocity of sound becomes Newton's Laplace equation of velocity of sound becomes V equal to root over gamma P by rho equal to root over gamma RT by M. From this equation we write velocity of sound is directly proportional to square root of the temperature. Then we write V1 by V2 equal to root over T1 by T2. So temperature is taken Kelvin, in that case T1 plus 273 by T2 plus 273. If T1 equal to 0 degree centigrade, then V1 equal to V0 T2 equal T degree centigrade, V2 equal Vt, then V0 by Vt equal to root over 273 by T plus 273. Then Vt equal to Vt by V0 equal to root over T plus 273 divided by 273. Then it is written as 1 plus T by 273. So Vt by V0 equal to 1 plus T by 273 whole power 1 by 2. From binomial theorem, we write Vt by V0 equal to 1 plus T by 546. Then velocity of sound at T degree centigrade, Vt equal to V0 into 1 plus T by 546. From this equation, if V0 equal to 332 meters per second and T equal to 1 degree centigrade, then Vt equal to V0 plus 0.61 into V0 into 1 plus 0.61 T for rise of temperature by 1 degree centigrade, the velocity of sound increases by 0.61 meters per second.